Next, I've invited Greg Edinger, the Superintendent of Vanguard Sentinel Career and Technology Centers. They have campuses in Tiffin and Fremont. Thank you very, very much for joining us. We appreciate it. You've got most of your students back on campus now, do you?
We do. Thank you for having me, sir, Governor DeWine. We do. We have about 1,051 kids on campus. We did start the school year on a hybrid system. Our goal from the start of the end, really, of last school year was to do whatever we needed to do to open school with students on our campuses. We really believe that career tech education is instrumental in our community in providing a trained workforce. And we think that really became, really apparent during the pandemic when you saw the workforce that were deemed essential. There's just about every career field that we have students training for. And to properly train them, eventually they have to get into the lab, they got to practice, they got to demonstrate, they got to do that hands-on portion, which is paramount to their overall skill development of their career, and to have that ability to pass that specific industry credential. So we really did put in a lot of safety requirements. We followed the state requirements. We followed industry sector specific requirements if they were above and beyond what the state had put out. We really felt that was important to stay in line with business and industry because that students would be seen in their early placement opportunities or full-time job opportunities. So then we decided, we basically created 3 schedules that tried to hit every scenario that we might face. We did do it all students back, a flexible hybrid that reduced kids to 50% capacity, and a full distance remote learning if we had to. But as I said, there's only so much online related work you can do with the hands-on and the career tech. But we did start in a hybrid system to give us the ability to kind of start slow. It was new for staff, making sure all the social distancing was taking place, the face covering, the hygiene pieces were all being followed. And then what we did look at, Governor, was we didn't look at every lab the same. I mean, every lab is a different size. Every enrollment might be different. So we kind of took the approach of if we can continue to maintain the safety requirements, our goal was to get students back fully. And we were able to do that, actually started this week, 4 days a week. We have all students except for in 3 labs that we didn't feel like we could maintain that safety requirement. So we kept them on the hybrid. Everybody else is back, and we left the Wednesdays as a distance learning day for staff for additional planning and for us to be able to do an additional deep clean above and beyond what we are already doing.
So you've had to really approach this as a school, but also as a business or a manufacturing company or whatever the skill set is. So you've had to pull best practices from industry plus best practices from schools. So that's been an interesting challenge, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you would walk in a few of the labs, such as our cosmetology or health lab, you would see a double barrier system because that's what's happening out in industry. They'd have their face mask and a face shield on. So they are following them, and staff is doing an outstanding job. Even when they came back with even more ideas of how they could create a more safe environment to get the students back on a full-time basis versus a hybrid. So it's been a great start thus far.
So I know this has been a difficult time. Your instructors, how are they doing? Your teachers, how are they doing? How are the students doing?
Yeah, the students, I'll tell you, everybody really bought into the safety. We haven't had any major issues with that. Staff, like I said, has just been outstanding with getting their labs and classrooms ready and prepared for students. They all wanted to see the students get back on campus as well. And without that proactive approach, I think, from our staff and knowing what they need to do inside lab, portrayed to getting the students back full time on those 4 days. So I think everybody's doing really well. The kids are working hard and getting those skills that the employers need to meet the job outlook.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and best wishes to all your team. Thank them for their hard work, and thank the students for their hard work.
Well,
Appreciate you being with us.
thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.